Hi, I'm Lena, and today in this thought-provoking podcast, I will be diving deep into the rooted issue of police brutality and racial profiling in the United States, spanning from the 1980s to current day. Our primary focus will revolve around the iconic protest song "Fuck the Police" by rap group NWA, which the song not only ignited controversy, but also a much-needed conversation about the systematic inequalities faced by marginalized communities in the U.S. By meticulously dissecting the societal impact of this groundbreaking anthem, we will aim to shed light on the profound significance it holds, even decades after its release. We will explore the historical context and the series of events that act as catalysts for this creation of this powerful song. Moreover, we will analyze the current situation in the United States, examining how recent events continue to reflect the urgent and timeless message embedded within the song "Fuck the Police." The societal issue and racial profiling is an incredibly important topic that affects individuals and communities across the world. Racial profiling refers to the practice of targeting individuals based on their race or ethnicity, often resulting in the unfair targeting of certain groups, particularly people of color. As discussed in the Amnesty International article Police Violence, it reported multiple accounts of police brutality, which portrays the discriminatory practice that not only violates basic human rights, but also perpetrates systematic inequalities and injustices within our society. Additionally, police brutality, which is the excessive and often unjustified use of force by law enforcement against civilians and minorities, further explains the disparities and fosters a climate of fear and mistrust between law enforcement and the community. Such incidents do not only undermine the trust and legitimacy of law enforcement, but also have a profound and lasting impacts of the lives who experience them. Therefore, it is imperative that we address the social issue and work towards creating a more equal and just society for all. So, to move on to discussing who NWA is and why they're credible, we will talk about their backgrounds and their own racial discriminatory incidents they have faced, as well as diving into what does the song mean, why did they write this song, what events led to them creating this song, and what messages they hope to relay onto the audience by producing this song. So the song was released to the world by the famous and well-known Los Angeles rap group NWA, which is composed of rappers from Los Angeles: Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, DJ Yella, MC Ren, and Eazy-E, and they hold undeniable credibility in the music industry and have earned their right to produce a song as such. With the rap group holding so much popularity, it allowed the message they were sending to be trusted, listened to, and justified. Emerging from the streets of Compton, California, during a time of racial tension and police brutality, NWA drew from their own experiences and harsh realities of their community to shed light on the systematic oppression faced by African Americans. Stated in PBS's LAPD articles, it states that gang violence was prominent among Los Angeles in the 1980s. However, the article also portrays LAPD's corruption and racially motivated abuse. Through their lyrics and storytelling, they expose the injustices and bigotry perpetrated by law enforcement onto Black communities, sparking controversial conversations and inciting political activism. NWA's credibility lies in their authenticity and their willingness to confront the harsh realities of their surroundings, and they hope to make their voices resonate and their message powerful. The song promotes NWA's desire to raise and spread awareness of systematic racism and injustices within our justice system. And NWA informs the audience of the predetermined life made by discrimination towards the African American community within Compton, but also America as a whole. The song portrays the reformed feelings among cops, judges, and Black youth. "Fuck the Police" was an eye-opener to the world at the time of how African Americans were truly treated by Caucasians and police. In the 1980s and the 90s, racism and injustice were potent, but the whole world didn't know what was occurring behind closed curtains since social media didn't exist at the time. So the raw and explicit realities were never quite viewed to its genuine extent until this song was produced. So the song symbolizes a courtroom by first presenting NWA's producer Dr. Dre as a judge who's overhearing multiple trials which are prosecuting the police department. The rappers Ice Cube, Eazy-E, MC Ren, and DJ Yella each take a stand to testify against the police. and the rappers criticized the police and their wrongdoings. The tragic and dramatic feelings behind the courtroom scene is to reach the audience and let them be able to sympathize with the African American community. This is done by the raw and explicit lyrics, such as, I'm going to state from the song, it goes, searching my car, looking for the product, thinking every is selling narcotics. This verse is indicating that police officers believe that every Black American is in possession of drugs. This vividly paints a realistic story and feeling of how it feels to be in an African American shoes during this time and in America. This allows the audience to grasp the narrative of the significance issue behind the social issue of police brutality, as well as racial profiling, by allowing them insight of the realities of being an African American in the U.S. The song also states in a verse, pull your goddamn ass over, aw shit, now what the fuck you pulling me over, cause I feel like it. This incident being described in the song is a real event that occurred commonly in society and still does. Real events like Operation Hammer, which was a law enforcement program by LAPD, which was meant to cut down gang violence. However, the program was clearly discriminatory and involved racial profiling, only attacking African Americans and Hispanic communities. The LAPD would attempt to intimidate them by treating them brutally, beating them, destroying their furniture and items in raids, and overall humiliating them, and they were able to do this by employing the tactic of stop and frisk, where individuals were stopped and searched without probable cause. This practice led to an overall increase in arrests and incarceration in minority individuals and minority communities. The operation was found ineffective and only resulted in further alienating and marginalizing minority communities. So the song, or the rap group using a real social issues, provides factual and evident reasoning for the song at the time. To continue with these events, like Operation Hammer, it didn't stop with the 1980s. It is still occurring at this time, and it's honestly at an all-time high, with cases like George Floyd and Breonna Taylor's tragic deaths have sparked widespread outrage and ignited a global movement across society, forcing them to confront the deep-rooted issue that plagues us. The unjust loss of lives became a rallying call for change, pushing to reevaluate the way law enforcement operates and to demand accountability from those in power. People from all walks have come together to demand justice and equality, challenging the systematic biases that disproportionately affects marginalized community. The names George Floyd and Breonna Taylor have been symbols of a broken system that must be fixed. The incidents were reported and detailed in the New York Times articles. Here's what you need to know about Breonna Taylor's death and how George Floyd was killed in police custody. The New York Times is one of the most credible news outlets due to its proper sourcing and well-respected editors and journalists. It also been stated that they have a reputation for thoroughness. The song was released in 1980 and has a profound impact on society as a whole, particularly in relation to those issues of police brutality and racial inequality, even systematic oppression and violence faced by Black communities were highlighted through its explicit and aggressive tone. Today, the song is frequently used as a rallying cry through protests about police brutality and injustices. The song title became a slogan popularized and plastered across posters, t-shirts, billboards, and etc. While some may argue that the song's message is overly confrontational, with its enduring popularity and relevance demonstrates that it continues to resonate with those who are fighting for greater equality and justice within today's society. The song Fuck the Police evidently indulges into the racial issue of America, particularly within the police, by relaying the tragic hardships of African Americans faced in a sympathetic narrative. Establishing a credible source by being written by well-known African American rap groups, by being written by a well-known African American rap group, and discussing raw and explicit realities that are occurring within our society. Thank you.